What else? The day is of a show, and I'm just there, I go to hell. I'm putting on the show, like Dave Chappelle. They don't like it, blah 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 blah. Rambo. I don't know the song. What's up, guys? The sun is shining in this country where, you know, it looks like this. Crazy. It's really nice. So it's a beautiful day. I just did a hard ass workout and I'm on point with my progress. Boom! That's awesome news. Great news. Just some thoughts. I guess I'm at 69 and, you know, that's on schedule, blah 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 blah. We'll have to just give it some time. I think I have to really stick with it. I was fasting last night, but when I came home, you know, as I said in an earlier video, you know, it was some nice stuff, you know, some like shuro and injera, which is like Eritrean or Ethiopian food. People know it's as Ethiopian food. It was hard to resist, man. But I didn't eat that much, and it's like beans and stuff, so it's not like very caloric stuff. But yeah, I'm getting like more. My habits are sitting more. It would have been unthinkable for me, for example, today to not go work out. You know, I didn't go to sleep as early as I wanted to, but I still just got up at the earliest. I'm working on my form. I'm trying to go as heavy as possible, but at the same time, I have dialed back from like, because I had these PRs like a year ago, whatever, half a year ago, in the summertime, you know, when I've been eating more and I hadn't been, you know, that's the thing. I was watching this video. I'll go on a bit, this is a bit longer than usual. I was watching this video by the Kinabati guy. I can't remember, the guy out of Canada. And he was talking about, like, if you've been dieting forever, like me, you know, this whole video series is like, what the fuck, man, you're just dieting. You should have been there already. My homie out of here just said, you should have been there already. You need to put gold, you know, you need to make, and it's fucking true. It shouldn't take this long. It's amazing the amount I lost when I started losing weight years ago, and how hard it's been, like doing the last 10 kilos. Or last 20 pounds, and or 30 pounds, or whatever. And it's really crazy, but it's probably because I've also noticed that since I'm trying to work out, that's why I switched to bodyweight. I switched to bodyweight because I figured, you know, it will work in tandem. I'll get stronger, and it also be less resistance as I lose weight. Just because I didn't stick to the program, you know, I didn't stick to one direction, you know, fuck strength and then focus on cutting, and then it will go one way. So, you know, I'm sort of doing that now by trying to lift hard and have this crazy cut and fasting and stuff. So I got to give it a month shot, you know, and just be real dedicated to it. And if it doesn't work out, then I'll have to switch my game up. Then I'll think I'll have to focus on bulking and getting some more muscle mass, and then cutting back, or just, you know, eating out of maintenance, basically. With Schwarzenegger suggestion, I think it's a good idea, because I think after all this crash dieting, my metabolism probably has changed. My body has adapted. You know, and the fact that it's retaining, it's sort of like for security's sake. I don't know if I have to really catch the train now. I went home around 9. It's 13. I have about 50. I think I have 15 minutes. Someone else is running. Let's see. Yeah, 14. I had a good time. I don't know. I don't need to stress. But yeah, so that's the current progress. Someone else is. Hur räcker tåget?
Ja, hur räcker tåget?
Jag kan 14 minuter till då. Well, the train is coming in about 40 minutes, so I think I can walk. I really am stressful. I'm not gonna stress, you know, and I'm late for work. Terrible. I feel terrible about it. But I gotta not stress, you know, because it is what it is. I'm late. That's it. I just have to make sure that I'm not freaking late on Monday. and the next Friday, because Friday is kind of important that I'm there on, especially important that I'm there on time. But now, the train was when it's leaving. I had to shower. I couldn't go sweaty. I ran from the gym home. And I just, it's just, that's another thing that I want to talk a little bit about. I know this was going to be a little bit longer. And that was just, this Eckhart Tolle Power of Now. I haven't even read the book, but I've heard about it for the longest. I should read it. Note to self, read book. And it's also like a Buddhist type of concept. People who are very fans of Henry David Thoreau, they're also like Elliot Toles, but also people I know in reality, not just YouTube people, have an affinity for the people. They often say similar things, like if you're just chasing your goals, you're just living in the future, you're not enjoying the actual present, and you're always going to be chasing new goals, and when you achieve something, you're going to chase new goals, and that is very true. That's very true. I feel this applies to fitness, I feel this applies to income, I feel this applies to a lot of things. And it's been a thought, that's why I'm not stressing now. Okay, I have, it's also stoicism, which is something I actually have read, about, at least a little, because that book is very, it's Meditations, that's one I've been on. Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. Just start reading it. Like, you don't have to read through it just start reading it, because it's heavy. It's like every other paragraph is like you should sit down and think about what he just said and reread it. It's not something you just read through. It's like a story, like get to the next scene. It is thought-provoking on each paragraph, because he's really writing for himself. And I've done that a little bit, just write for myself sometime. Helps you clear your thoughts a bit. I should do that more, like take time to log stuff. That's kind of what this video is. Doing this video helps me clear my mind and think about these things, and I can go back and watch them and improve. What was I doing at the time? It's kind of hard to remember. Can you remember what you were doing? This is a small town, so many people I know. It's kind of difficult to stay concentrated. Can you remember what you were doing? Whoa! Thinking about 2 years ago, where you was probably doing a similar thing. Just always. Can you remember what you were doing a year ago, same time? Do you remember what you were doing 3 years ago, or you were thinking, where your mindset was at? What do you think was important? I think if you log stuff, it will help you see progress and see where you're not having progress. Are you really moving forward? Are you really changing? If you want to change, if it's something you want to change, like this video series is about change, right? So, at the same time, that whole Power of Now, Buddhist, Stoic, in a sense, religious concept is about being grateful for what you have, being grateful for what you already do have. Because I just had a realization, and it's not like I didn't know this, but there's no problem. It's something I thought about, wasn't deep thoughts about society and stuff like that. You're not never promised tomorrow, man. There is no given. There might be a comet on just coming right now, just wiping us all out. So, and I know people from a lot of different cultures, and I've noticed that we who live in modernity, we get wrapped up in chasing these goals. But a lot of people from a lot of different cultures, and I'm not just thinking about any particular ones, in general are a lot less afraid of death. They just know from having experienced it and seen it, and maybe they've been to war. I mean, most people who are from different cultures in this country have been in some kind of war or some kind of relation to some kind of conflict. And that makes you realize how precious each day is, and that you should make the most out of it, So it's something that's easily taken for granted because you're chasing the future. But you have this today, and this is actually very practical advice because I've tried to get rid of bad habits, or I have gotten rid of bad habits, and the way that in retrospect, the way that I have usually gotten rid of habits is not by just going blank. There's two components to all songs. It's self-image. It's like, do you see yourself as that? What do you do? Usually there's some like, oh, I do this and then I do this bad habit, I usually wake up and then I have a cigarette, or usually I go and eat something, dinner, and I have a cigarette. I know this because I used to smoke. So a lot of people who did smoke and stuff, they usually like those kind of things. Like, oh, the cigarette in the morning is really nice, or the cigarette after dinner is really, and so on. Alcohol and drinking. Oh, I'm going out to the weekend, because you get into these habits not beneficial to them. But they can't escape them because that's what they see themselves doing. But another thing is about breaking out of them or changing them, is that when you treat it as just one day or 1 hour, it's so easy. So I remember me and a friend of mine, we were gonna stop smoking, and we were both like, yeah, we should do it. And we were both sick of it because we've been doing it for years, This is smoking weed actually, and my friend, he was doing it all the time, every day, and it was just a compulsive thing, and he knew it was a compulsive thing, but he was so deep into that environment that it was such a part of his daily habit, but he had problems changing that habit. I said to him, are you a junkie? And I know something clicked because he himself does not view himself as that. And me too, I wasn't as deep as into it as him, but I had this problem where I was falling back. Like, I had a rough time, whatever, I would go and do that. But I found that the key was to find out when you're weak, but also just to take it like a certain time period, like for a week. Well, this is tough. I failed, but can I do it for a week? Can I do it for a day? Can I do it for an hour? Definitely. Whatever it is, if you just boil out for an hour, of course you can do it. One day, of course you can do it. 1 week, of course you usually do it, of course. And then just extend it, like, oh, I did it 1 week, do it another week, and then okay, I did it to 2 weeks, do it another week, and then another week, and that's at least 4 weeks. This is any habits, really. And then just do it for 4 weeks. You can do it for 4 more weeks, definitely. Then you suddenly did it for 2 months, and this ball, it just grows from that. So anyway, I'm gonna go to work, look like a crazy person in this country, speaking into my mobile phone. Most people are just staring at their mobile phones. Most people don't speak into them. Alright, peace.